Can walking out on your job cause legal problems? What if you decide that you don't like your boss anymore, you don't even like your company anymore, and you just want to quit and be done with it? Start a new life, new career. Can you just decide to walk out and leave? Or could you get sued for wrongful quitting? My name is Dahlia. I'm a career strategist helping people to get out of boring, unfulfilling, or sometimes even toxic jobs and into highly paid work that they're excited to get out of bed for in the morning. And I've been doing that for about 6 years now, and I've also worked about 12 years as a communications specialist. Now look, I am no legal expert, but from what I understand and what I have seen, here's my opinion. If your contract says you need to serve a set period of time, and you refuse to serve it and you do a breach of contract by walking out, potentially you could be sued for any kind of damages, but I believe it would be unlikely to happen because your former employer would have to show financial loss caused by your early departure. And if your employer seeks injunction from the court, it could stop you from going to work elsewhere until you complete your notice period. Now, if you're just walking out of a job for the day, let's say after an argument, without intending to actually quit, then that's another matter. Let's say that you walked out saying something like, "I'm going home," or "I've had enough." Even if you hinted at leaving for good, that's unlikely to be treated by your employer as your resignation notice. But you could potentially be sued for refusal to perform your tasks, especially if it led to loss for the company. The right to refuse an assigned task is protected only in these circumstances. The refusal to work should be in good faith and not an attempt to harass the employer or to disrupt business. Or, you can refuse to perform a task if it's reasonable that that task could cause some kind of danger to you or other employees. Or if there's not enough time, you're too rushed, and that could also lead to some kind of a safety hazard. Once again, I'm no legal advisor. This is obviously not legal advice. If you're really, really unsure, consult with a lawyer. But the main thing is to read your contract. If you have a legal notice period, then you should give that notice period if you can, just like they need to give you a notice period usually before they lay you off. But if your job is so bad that you feel like ghosting your employer without a notice period, you probably shouldn't be working there in the first place. So you do need a plan to get out. You need to stop the cycle of accepting job offers at companies that are just not great places to work. So ideally, even if you're in a really difficult situation right now and you're really feeling like I just need to walk out and quit, just find out how much notice period what does your contract say? Does it say you need to give a notice period? If so, let them know, write that letter. It doesn't need to be anything complicated. It's literally just thank you for the opportunity to work here, and please note I'm giving my notice, my final day will be on X date. Just send that, and there you go. Like most of the time you're not at legal risk. They'll just be happy you're gone, you'll be happy you're gone, and that will be that. But just there's some funny memes going around on social media where people show their dramatic quit, and they I don't know, what are some things that you've seen on social media with people's dramatic resignations, things like sending an email to their boss saying all the terrible things about the company and all the reasons why you're leaving, stuff like that. It's like you can write out that email and just for your own satisfaction, write it down in a Word document or something like that, but don't click send, because at the end of the day, it ends up reflecting badly on you and not on them. You want to keep your head high, stay high value, and a really high value professional, like you just don't mix with toxicity. Like when something is beneath you, toxicity, people mistreating you, not valuing, all that kind of stuff, you don't want to engage with that. That's why you're leaving. So you're not going to drop down to their level if they're that unprofessional or they're not good people. Don't drop down to their level. Just say, I'm giving my notice period, etc. If possible, thank people, let people know you're leaving. They don't need to know the specific reasons why. And if they ask why, you can just say, oh, I've gotten actually another opportunity. I can't talk about it just yet, but happy to share later on, whatever. Just get yourself out of there. Try to hold your head high. Do some ranting like to your close friends, or like I said before, write yourself an email, but don't send it off. You don't need to vent to the people that you are leaving. Now, make sure you're not putting a massive amount of time and effort into how am I going to quit this job? How much notice period? How do I tell them? I mean, yes, you want to make your exit graceful and smooth and all of that, and obviously make sure you're not going to be pursued for anything legal, so read your contract closely. But once you've done that, put your focus on where you're going. Do you have your high value skill set in place? Do you know concretely what that is? Are you out there in the hidden job market? Are other people ready to hire you? They know who you are. They know that you're planning on leaving. They're offering you those positions. You want to make sure that you're putting more focus on your future, where you want to work, who you want to work with, who's going to be valuing you, and less on the place that you're leaving. I'm just saying that because a lot of the time it can get really easy to get so wrapped up in a toxic situation, or just so wrapped up in the whole idea of should I stay, should I leave, how do I leave this place? Like you're just like in this trap, in this bubble, and you're so focused on how do I get out of this trap, and there's not enough focus on where are you going. So step out gracefully and get yourself into that next place, which is gonna push your life forward, get you paid more, make you happier, and make you more of the person and the professional who you want to be. Oh, and by the way, I have a free class all about how to take those steps towards getting your dream job offer. So I'll put the link below so you can check that out. Oh, and happy quitting and stepping out of the job which is no longer serving you or making you as happy as you should be.